Welcome to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you'll hear about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Now, let's join your hosts, Spivvy Williams and Terrible T Guy.
Hi, guys. Welcome to the next edition of Event Radio. We are at Buick Heaven, I guess you'd say.
If there's the Buick Heaven, this is it.
Yeah, this is it. This is the annual Buick GS event from Beach Bend Park. And, you know, Terry, this is the longest
running event
yeah,
that Beach Bend's had.
This is the oldest one. They said it was over 20 years that they've been coming to here. You know, that's pretty cool.
That's a pretty good deal right there. It's got to be a good show then.
Well, either that or they're having fun. Now, they did change the dates because it seems like they always brought the rain with them, you know, when they came before. So they moved it to the end of the year, to the fall of the year, instead of the spring of the year. And I think that's helped them maybe a little bit.
By the looks of the day, it couldn't have hurt. It's beautiful out there.
Boy, I'm telling you what, there are Buicks everywhere, and maybe with this show
we'll find a black one.
Yeah, right. Maybe with this show we'll get the question answered from some of these guys, how they know which one is theirs. Because so many of the Grand Nationals, they're awesome cars. They're turbocharged six-cylinders that are bad Jose's. But they all look just alike, you know. I don't know.
I guess it'd be like a mother dog going looking at her puppy. She always knows the difference in them. You know, I guess you got to go up and lick them.
You reckon? Do they lick the dash? Is that what they do? No.
You ask the guy if I can lick his dash.
No, I don't think we'll be doing that. You know, this is a fun event. You learn a lot at this thing because it's completely different than anything else we go to.
These are Buick fans. I mean, they can tell you about anything you need to know about a Buick.
Yeah, we'd probably be better off just to get them on here and us sit and shut up and just listen to them. And, of course, we're passing my favorite thing. When there is a tour bus here that is an absolute killer.
It's
is
got your
gorgeous.
name all over the side of it.
Except
flames.
Except the payments. It doesn't have that all on the side. You know, we could forget about that. But, you know, we're going to get to spend the day today with you guys. We're going to introduce you to a lot of these people. And hopefully we'll have a little fun here, you know.
Well, you know, these cars, the same one with the supercharger on it and all these GS. Man, when we was kids, you know, if you had a Buick, it had them portholes on the side, you know. Remember the little on the front fenders?
Deuce and a quarter.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and check this out over here. There's a Riviera rat rod with wide white walls, you know, a primer black. I mean, if that ain't cool, boy, is that hot or what?
Well, they was hot in their day.
Well, that was the one of the star cars in that movie. Was it Roadhouse or whatever it was? And they had the Rivieras. I like those cars. I think they're pretty neat.
Well, did you have one time in your period of driving?
Yeah, in one of my deals, I wound up with one of them. I don't know how. I still hadn't figured that out
those
yet.
Are bad cars when they come out, man.
Yeah,
still are. That's proof right over there.
Right. There. Well, listen, there is a field full of good-looking cars at this event. And hopefully we get to go meet a bunch of these guys. This will be fun.
It's going to be hard not to meet some good, Buick fanatics, I guess you would say.
Well, that's okay. They might. You think they might make us one? You know, you never know.
We could put some little portholes on the side of this golf cart.
Yeah, yeah, maybe. I guess you know we've probably done worse. We're going to have a lot of fun, guys. We're going to take a real quick little pause so we can introduce you to the most important people in our world next to you. Our sponsors, but we're going to talk to them for just a second, and we will be right back.
Right back.
All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event, and it did not take us very long to come up to what we think is the coolest thing on the grounds that we have seen. What is your name, sir?
Mark Wellman.
Mark, where are you from, sir?
Bluegrass, Iowa.
Boy, how far is Bluegrass, Iowa, my friend?
It's about 8 hours from here.
Really? Yep. Now, aren't the picker guys from Iowa that's on TV?
Yeah, they're from about a half hour north of where I live.
Really? So they've been doing that for a long time. It's not just a TV show, right?
No, they've been doing that their whole lives.
Really? That's cool. Tell me a little about. You have the absolute coolest Buick in the place.
Thank you.
Tell us about that. We're going to take some pictures of it, guys. So when this gets on the archives, it flips behind. But this thing is gorgeous. This is cool.
Yeah, it's a 56 Buick two-door post Buick Special that we twin turboed with a 401 nail head out of a Buick Wildcat. It's 413 now with twin turbos, 6-stage dry sump, fuel injected, about 840 horse to the back tires on 12 pounds of boost.
Guys, I told you we could pick out the hot rod in the whole place. and the thing about it, unlike some of the other Grand Nationals with the turbos, you don't have any trouble finding your car.
No.
Man, it is good. Guys, I guess the way to describe it is a brand new nostalgia car. Would that be close?
Yeah, pretty close. It's got a new frame. The body parts are all original. All the trim's original. But other than that, it's been lightly molested, we'll call it.
Hey, it's cool to me, buddy. I like it.
Thank you.
So how long you been into the Buicks?
Well, when I bought that one about, I guess it took 3 years to build it, but I had it a couple years before that, so I guess 5-6 years now.
Well, were you into like maybe the Grand Nationals and stuff before that, or did you just
No.
decide to do a Buick and that's what we're going to do, huh?
This one fell in my lap, and all of a sudden I'm a Buick guy now.
Well,
so,
that's all right. Now you
yeah.
got a whole event dedicated to you. See,
yeah. Back when we were younger, though, I had a friend that had a Buick Wildcat, 65 Buick Wildcat, and I remember riding around that, getting in trouble, and I was always impressed with the power out of that car, and so maybe that's how it ended up.
well,
Big circle.
Buicks. A lot of people thought Buick was Dad's car. You know what I mean? And they didn't realize that they were really a hot rod. You know, I mean,
Right.
even Dad's car was a fast booger. You know, back in those years, and they rode good, they drove good, and all of that, and you've just taken. I guess you've taken an apple and polished it to the max. You know, because it's sharp. Now, there's no doubt about it.
I was sitting here looking at the tail light lens, Spivvy, and back when you and I was 15, 16, we had the 55 Chevrolets. We would go to the junkyard and get these Buick tail lights and cut them in half and change them into 55s, if you remember.
Oh, yeah. We did some crazy stuff.
Did away with the white part on the bottom, and you was cool if you had that done.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. There you go.
We were lucky we found them taillights. They were new old stock, so we had them
Really?
still in the box, and
Uh-huh.
man, I grabbed them up quick.
Well, I tell you what, we actually, before we got out and got started doing the show, we actually cruised through and we saw that, and that's just dead where we came was to your hot rod, buddy.
Ray
because-
Charles think that looked
Yeah,
good.
buddy, Ray Charles would like that car. I mean, everybody would like that car.
Yeah. We just did some nice touches with the black nickel plating on it. Really sets it off. To be
Oh
different.
yeah, it's just it's not only a hot rod, but it's a tastefully done hot rod. You know, a lot of people. Something that used to really tick me off is guys would spend years and building a car, and they'd let the little details just ruin all the hard work. You know, and or they'd paint it some funky color.
Yeah.
That you wondered were they the only people that got in the paint store, you know, or what? How'd they get in there? But that car is classy. I mean, it's good looking.
Yeah,
I
thank
really
you.
like it.
I like to call it sexy.
Well, I reckon so. I guess so. And I guess the nice thing about it, guys, it's big enough. If you happen to get a good-looking date, you can sort of hug up to her in there.
You can put a
Yeah.
couple in there.
Yeah, you could go to the drive-in. It'd be like having 3 bedrooms and a bath. You know. No, we're just playing. We're having fun. We appreciate you taking the time to be on Event Radio. This little show goes everywhere, even to Iowa, buddy.
Perfect.
You know, you can tell people in Iowa to listen to you on this
I
thing.
will.
Well, we want you to. But our little show goes all over the world on the internet, and we do every cool event there is, and that's why we're at the Buick Show.
Great. Well, it's my first time down here and first time Bowling Green, and I've had a great time. So
Well,
appreciate it.
there's a ton of events coming up here at Beach Bend. Next year they have signed 17 multi-day events. And then, of course, they just built the new motorsports park out next to the Corvette thing. They had a $26 million road course. And so Bowling Green is becoming Hot Rod City, you know.
I was out the big sinkhole they had there on Wednesday
Yeah.
and looked, and they asked to put the Buick in the Corvette Museum on Sunday.
Well, yeah.
So that'll be fun. As long
well,
as they don't
you know,
put it in that sinkhole.
Yeah, don't be putting well, and don't park it close to it because they're not really sure they got it fixed. So.
Yeah, I know.
Well, then as this morning they're going to fill it in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And which I think that's sort of silly because they said it increased their tourism like 60%, and they're going to fill a hole in.
Well,
Yeah.
also they're saying it's a safety issue is the reason they're doing it.
Well, it didn't hold before. Why
Well,
would safer going to be now? You know,
Makes sense.
I don't know. From the looks of a couple of those cars that they were so diligent about getting out of there. If it was me, I'd leave the whole push them back down in there and show people what it was. You know.
Right. Well, I'm sure some insurance company had something to do with all that.
You think so?
Yeah.
Either an insurance company or
Just
a
a guess.
lawyer or
Just a
somebody,
guess,
right?
yeah.
Listen, my friend, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
taking the time to be on Event Radio. Thank you for coming to Bowling Green, and for sure, thank you for bringing the absolute sharpest Buick on the grounds. There is no doubt about it.
I appreciate it. Thank
All
you.
right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event, and we commandeer a very nice lady.
A pretty lady.
Yeah, good-looking gal. That's what we do that. We're good at that.
She
What
won't
is-
know why we didn't drive on by.
Yeah, right. What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Anna Stepp.
Where are you from, ma'am?
I'm from lovely Kentucky.
Are
Yes,
you? Lovely?
Kentucky.
Lovely?
As far east as you can go.
And you're not kidding. There really is a place called Lovely?
There is a place. It's not just an adjective. It's a proper noun. Lovely Kentucky.
Wow.
41231.
I've lived here. I've lived around in this state for a long time, and I did not know of Lovely, Kentucky.
Yes, lovely.
But you must be the ambassador. See, that's what it is, right?
Well, I'm the president of our local library. Does that count?
Well, that's what you need to do is be on the radio with two non-readers, boy. That's it. Say, this is your first Buick event.
Yes, yes.
Excited, huh?
We bought our 1986 Buick Grand National brand new.
Really?
We've kept it and we drove it and we've had fun with it, and it has some 67,000 miles on it.
Well, that's all right. That's what they're for.
But you know, we've loved it. This is our very first car show.
Well, now maybe you can help me here. I have a question that I'm trying to figure out. How do you know which one is yours?
I know because my chairs are right behind mine.
No, but and that's strictly complimentary. I mean, the fact that there are very few cars that were put out sharp enough when they came from the factory that they didn't need any help. And the Grand National is one of those that, man, are so good looking to start with, and they run so well. There's not really anything that you have to do to it, you know?
That's true. And sometimes it is difficult to tell mine from the other ones, but it's usually what I have in it or behind it.
Well, you stay close to it like a dog on a leash or something. Is that what?
Yes, yes.
I see. So you are now tell me, in lovely Kentucky, you are the librarian, or maybe, or what is that?
I'm the president of our local library.
Local, really?
Yes.
Well, ain't that cool?
Actually, we've done a lot. I actually got a new library reopened.
All right, now where is Lovely close to? I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around this, and
Right next to Beautiful.
Yeah, right next to Beautiful.
It
I
is
got
right
you.
next to Beauty, Kentucky.
You're kidding.
I'm not kidding.
Oh, come
I'm
on
not
now.
kidding.
How
I'm
do that?
not kidding.
Lovely is
I
next to
kid you.
Beauty.
Yes.
Is there an ugly?
Not
Farther
an ugly,
north?
but there's a Warfield,
Farther north, you get to
Kentucky
get
in
ugly.
between. So you've got a lovely Kentucky, a Warfield, Kentucky, and then a Beauty. So I guess if you've been to the Warfield, then on either side of it gets beautiful or lovely.
I tell you what, there is very little that makes me speechless, lady. But you're doing your best. That's all I can tell you. Now, give me a town, really, all kidding aside, that's close.
Where
I'm
do
an
you
hour
start
and a
from
half
to
from
get there?
Ashland, Kentucky.
Okay, all right. Now we're cooking,
I can
because I know
look
where
out
Ashland is.
I can look out my window and see West Virginia.
Yeah, and
Wow,
so
that's
so
good.
you're like Blue Ridge Parkway type. Is that close, maybe, or not?
Well, I have to go out to the well, far east as you can go in Kentucky.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you're on you're like being at Bristol, Tennessee, or Bristol, Virginia, only farther north, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
See, I'm close.
yes, you got
My
it.
geography lessons did good. I found my way home that way.
You've got it.
Yeah. All right. Now it seems a little different to me that a librarian would have a hot rod like a Grand National Buick.
Well, now we are real live people, and I have been. Now, I retired recently from being an elementary school teacher and an elementary school principal.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
My volunteer work is with libraries.
Okay. All right. That's boy. I tell you what, I got to send to the principal's office a lot, and they didn't look nothing like you. When I was a kid, I mean, both of us, Terry
They
and I,
named a school after us.
yeah, reform school. That's what. No,
I can be really, really nice.
I'm sure you can. I mean, anybody lives in lovely Kentucky, it'd have to be pretty nice.
There's a darker side.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's an ugly.
That's an ugly Kentucky. Yeah.
I haven't found that yet. You'll
Are you
ugly.
are you having fun at the Buick event? You seem like a lady to be having fun no matter where you went.
I
but-
do. I'm having a great time, and there's so many nice people out here. I've got to know a lot of really, really super nice people.
Well, how do you like Bowling Green?
I love Bowling Green.
Great.
Yes, I love Bowling Green. First time I've ever been in Bowling Green, and I still haven't got to see the Corvette Museum.
Well,
You
we
need
can
to go
work that
see-
out for you if you
need
want
to
to
go
go.
see
We
the
can
hole
get you in
before
there.
they fill
Yeah, you
it
got to
up.
see it. They're going to fill it in.
I
you
want
know.
to see it. I
Okay.
do.
And there's really the motorsports park is cool to go over and see too.
Yes.
They have it. They've got all of it finished as far as being able to use it. They still have buildings to build there, and they're going to build all kinds of cool stuff out there. But still, Beach Bend's a happening. Next year we said earlier, next year Beach Bend has 17 multi-day events. So now you got an excuse to come back.
Yes, that sounds great.
A lot of cool stuff goes on here, and we're very fortunate that we get to cover all of them. And you said something about all the nice people here. We do a lot of events and a lot of different kinds of events. We do everything with wheels, and we have found everybody will be nice if you'll just let them.
Yes.
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 And that's the key. You have to let them be nice because sometimes you go in there with an attitude and stuff like that, and they're ugly, and you really don't blame them if you think about it.
I like nice people.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, lady, we just stopped you and we were kidding you about singing.
Okay,
tell us what your mom said about singing. This is funny.
I had to decline the singing part because I was driving in the car with my mom, and she's like, some people should not sing alone, and that's from my mother.
Okay. Now, is this your husband here?
This is Bob Stepp. He's my husband.
All right. My friend, you looked a long time to find this lady. She's right. You did good. I don't know where your gold star is, but you got one.
43
Boy,
years.
my wife has been married, and I have been married for 42 years, too.
Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Well,
We're the minority.
Well, yeah, but see, he's like me. You learn when you've been married that long that once you say I do, you only got to know 2 more words, and that's yes, ma'am. That's all see, we learned that.
Smart men.
Yeah, we
Smart
learned
men.
that. And besides, if you live in lovely Kentucky, you got to be.
Right.
Okay, cool. Listen, ma'am, thank you so much for taking a minute and having some fun with us on Event Radio. We have a lot of fun with the show.
You made it better.
You've made it a lot better and a lot more fun for us,
Well,
and we want to thank you.
You have made my car show more fun too.
Hey,
I can talk about this forever now.
Well, hey, you can. You know the thing about it, you got introduced to a lot of people here,
Yes.
but not near as many as we're going to introduce you to.
Oh, okay.
Because this little show goes all over the world, and our station has a listening audience of 3 million people.
So I should say hello,
So
fans.
you should say hi. Yeah.
Hello, fans.
And if you have any overdue books, guys, I would not take them to this lady's library. I don't know.
we do collect fines.
Yeah, well, but if pretty cool. I don't know what we did. We blew up something. Yeah, we tore up something. I don't know. I don't know what we tore up. We tore up.
It's him back there.
Now we got it.
All right.
Yeah, we tore up something, but I don't know what, but we fixed it.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't
him.
us.
No,
it was the elements.
It was the elements.
That's
Good.
what it was.
Good.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on Event Radio. We really appreciate you taking the time and having a little fun with us.
I sure did.
We do. We have a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And thank you for
Thank
telling
you.
me where lovely Kentucky is. I may have to drive over there.
And go to Beauty, too, while you're there.
I'll go to lovely and beauty, and we'll just search for ugly. How about that?
There's a big ugly in Floyd County, right?
There you
Nope,
go.
Not,
Oh, it's in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
See, I'd
Well,
have
you're
to
close.
it'd have to be across the line.
I've heard of Big Ugly, but I've never been there.
Okay, all right. Guys, we are having a blast on Event Radio from the Buick GS event. Do not go anywhere. You're on Event Radio, and we will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event, and we ran into a lady that we found out is already a celebrity, and all we get to do is talk to her for a minute. But that's okay. We're good at that. What is your name, ma'am?
Roberta Vassalo.
Roberta, where are you from, ma'am?
Flint, Michigan.
Ah, well, boy, that's on up there. On just what do you go north and turn right or turn
Pretty
left
much.
or whatever? And you put on a pretty fair Buick race, right?
Yep.
Ah, tell us about that.
Buick Race Day at Norwalk, Ohio. We've been doing it for 24 years. Next year will be 25.
Cool event, huh?
Very cool.
You know, something we talked about earlier, and a lot of people, I mean, they know the Grand Nationals are fast, but they don't realize that Buicks have been fast for a long time, even before the Grand Nationals.
They were fast in the 30s. How do you think the Buick Century got its name? Beat the train.
Really?
Yes.
Well, tell me a little about that. Is that true?
1937, 36, Buick beat the 20th Century train, and that's where they picked the Century name for Buick that's been around for years.
No kidding. Well, Harley Earl was originally a Buick designer, was he not?
Yep, very much.
Yeah, I knew a little.
Yeah.
Not much, but a little.
Harley Earl, and I can't think of some of the others. But
All right, now what was the significance? We talked about this earlier, and I know there is a significance for it. But what the holes, the portholes in the fenders of the older Buicks had a purpose. What was that?
to let the air out from the engine compartment.
Was it?
Yeah.
Just to get rid of heat, dissipate heat? Is that what it was?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Now, you told me you'd been on every kind of media there was, and you grew up around radio. Is that right?
That's correct.
So this is old shoe to you, huh?
Kind of, yeah.
That's good.
I did a radio show in college, too.
Did you really?
Yep.
Well, we did that for a little while, but that's not really why we did it. We're not really radio people.
Internet.
Well, yeah, we're internet, but we're still not radio people. We're both ex-professional racers.
Oh, okay.
I ran an alcohol funny car for years. Terry is an ex-professional speedway motorcycle racer. So we get to talk to racers, and guess what? We know what we're talking about when we ask them. What do you think?
I think I talked to you before.
Did you?
I think so.
I
I
don't
don't think
know.
we did an interview, but I think we talked.
Well, I usually remember the pretty ones. You know, normally, but I'm getting old. See, that's where it is. That you get, and this show comes out of Los Angeles, so you get the fog, you know, the seawater fog on the brain, you know. And that happened to you, Terry, on the speedway stuff?
I think I hit my head too much on that one.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well,
All right.
I grew up in the 60s, too, so take your
Yeah,
pick.
we don't even remember much about that.
I've
you know?
been coming to this event since 1985.
Really?
Yep.
You know, this is the longest event, single event that comes to Beach Bend. You know, and like next year, Dallas has signed 17 multi-day events here, and so it's going to be a little busy. Yep. But the Buicks, I've always enjoyed the Buicks coming. It's been a cool event for me.
Our event in Ohio, the track people fight over who gets to work that weekend. They like
Really?
us so
Really?
much. They really enjoy the Buicks.
The
Wow.
guys with the Buick owners, they are pretty doggone loyal.
Yes, very much so. I have 7 or 8 of my own.
What's your favorite?
70 GSX.
Okay, you like that better than Grand National?
I have one of those too.
But I mean, you must like the GSX better.
Uh,
Why?
I don't know, because it's cool.
Well, they're all cool.
It's fast.
Well, the Grand National's fast.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't-
my Grand National only has 13,000 miles on it.
Oh, so that's a retirement vehicle. In other words,
I drove it for a few days this summer.
yeah.
Every
But
day.
as much as those things are getting worth,
I know.
you know, your money's much safer now in certain cars
Yep.
than it ever will be in a bank, and it will grow faster in the cars.
This is very true. That's why I need to spend some more money on a couple of the other ones and get them up to stuff.
Well, just go around there. I'm sure some guys here will sell you one.
I've got 8.
Well, so what?
I don't
Everybody
need
needs
it.
at least 10 cars.
I don't have any room for any more.
We'll buy another house.
I'm
That's
thinking
easy.
about it.
Well, that'll work. We will let you go, lady. We appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio. This little show, we do every kind of motorsports event there is, and it is internet. Goes all over the world, and I'll give you a packet when we're finished that will tell you all about it. But we appreciate you taking the time to be on here. We had to coax you a little bit, or the guys did, and I did see your shirt being green. I just had to play with you on being pink.
Yeah.
That's just normal. I can't help it.
My other car, one of my other cars runs low 11s.
That's good. That's good.
It's broke.
It's broke. Well, fix it.
I plan on it.
Yeah, you got to get out and have some fun.
Yep.
All righty. Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're having just too much fun from the Buick GS event from Beach Bend Raceway. We will be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event, and we're driving down through here, and boy, I just couldn't help myself. We almost nosed over the golf cart because we ran into my kind of drag racing. We run into a front-engine dragster, Buick-powered front-engine dragster. What is your name, sir?
John Everett,
John, where are you from, friend?
Orlando, Florida.
Mickey Land.
Yeah.
Mickey Mouse Land. Hey, boy, I tell you what. This front motor cars, we really like the nostalgia stuff anyway, because we do hot rod reunions, we do nostalgia drags, we do good guy stuff, we do all kinds of stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen one Buick powered.
No, we run that one, and it's pretty fun to drive. It's a little different, obviously.
Well, a front motor car is fun to drive, as long as it doesn't puke any oil or anything. I mean, that's
No, we run nostalgia top fuel usually, so
Really?
This one is the beginning of that with a 445 Buick that we're building.
Really. So you do run some of the fuel events too,
Yep.
huh? Oh, so you got to know Dave Harada and those guys.
Yep.
Dave's a buddy of mine, and I'm trying to think of what Jerry from California, Coomer, I think is his name.
Yeah, we ran with the Haran racing team.
Okay, all
out
right.
West.
So you like being a front motor pilot, Gart?
Oh yeah, a lot better.
Do you? You've driven a rear engine car for sure.
Oh yeah.
The only thing I know, I'm not a radio guy, buddy. I'm an old funny car guy. I did that for years. So the thing that I find really wild about the dragsters, the front motor cars, you can tell what's happening. The rear engine cars, you're sitting in the middle of the car and it can get all bad out of shape, and you don't know it if you don't line up the front end with a tree or something.
Well, that, and usually you can save the engine if you see it puffing white out of pipe.
Yeah.
For the low-budget guys like us.
Well, I know what that is. Yeah, everything I had the motor in the front. Give me a break here. I like your car. I mean, right now, guys, we're going to take some pictures of this car and flip it behind this show. But the patriotic deal, a lot more people ought to be getting into that. With everything as big a mess as our country's in, that's cool. That's really
Super
cool.
Cat.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, evidently, like living in Orlando, huh?
Yeah, we're in Merritt Island, but everyone always goes, "Where's that?" So.
Well, I was going to ask the same thing. I don't know. I love it down there, though. It's cool. I like it. That man, it's just that must be nice to have your weather nice all the time. Is it bad any?
Yeah, it's warm during the summer, but that's after living in northern Maine. You say that's your wintertime.
Yeah, right. Well, is the humidity bad?
Because
here, I mean, birds can't even fly here in the summer. I mean, it's so bad. It's just brutal. Well, if you've come to Hot Rod Reunion and some of those, you know how bad it can get.
Oh yeah, but no, it's definitely warm during the summer. But now we've got about 8 months worth of full race for the next 8 months, and then running top dragster with the same car with a blown 445 Buick motor in it.
Cool. Man, you're having too much fun, buddy.
Need to.
Hey, I'm telling you, I think it's cool. I like it. You have you ever run a door car?
Oh yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, run 66 Wildcat GS here since the 80s, and
Okay.
we're making a 66 Wildcat GS Pro Mod car.
That ought to be a handful.
Yeah,
The
but
pro mods, I like those. I think they're really neat. They've gotten a little bit of a bad rap because they crash so many of them. Why is that? Why do you think it is?
oh, it's just getting every last little bit out of what your combination is, and we're just doing the Buick so that it'll run here at this event. To run the fast class, you have to have a door car.
Right.
So we're using a
Use a pro mod.
125-inch Murph McKinney car with a...
I know Murph. Yeah, I know Murph.
So we'll do it that way.
Hey, buddy, I tell you what, that's slick. That's fun.
So, but it's a blown fuel engine in it. So
Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, right?
Yep.
Hey,
But
there's nothing like.
It's a bracket. If you
Hey.
run a 560 versus a 10, so be it.
Yeah, well, that you can always find drag racers, guys. They know how to really interpret the rules. They always drag racers are better than any racers on the planet for figuring out the absolute quickest way to do everything, do it well, and run everything on a fine edge. You know what I mean? Is that a fair statement? Would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Well, listen, my friend, I think it's cool to have the dragster here and for us to get to see that, because I've asked 2 or 3 people that we've interviewed with the Grand Nationals, how you know which one's yours, you know. I mean, that makes it a little different.
So, yeah, we've had this car here, and we've been pushing to get a outside-the-box kind of deal, no electronic dragster class, and next year we've got, so far, 3 dragsters and an altered that'll run with the Buick power in them.
You know, they had a race here called a bottom bulb race, and which was a no electronics foot brake type deal, you know, but they didn't have any dragsters in it. And I couldn't understand why that was. I mean, if you don't have electronics, what's the difference? Well,
we go to Orlando, run Super Pro with that, and that gets a lot of people just looking at you, because we don't even run with a battery if we don't want it in there. If we want light in the car, you can pull the battery and fire it up off the charging port.
Oh, so that's magneto in the front. Yeah, that's cool. I think it's neat, my friend. And I couldn't help myself. We saw the dragster, and I said, "Whoa, we got to go right here," you know.
Well, ran 818 right out of the trailer at 169, giving way too much fuel and quite slow 60 foot compared to normal. So it's
this place is a good racetrack. It always has been. They prep it excellent, and be it the fuel car or this car or whatever you bring here, you can always count on having a good ride right here.
Yeah,
you know?
We'll have it here for the hot rod reunions next year. And
well,
all
we'll
that,
see
so.
at it, buddy. Harada usually commandeers us there. You know, Dave's a buddy, so and little Mia Tedesco that's driving his A fuel car now. You know, we've had some fun, and I'm going to give you something that you'll get a kick out of, and I'm going to tell you the story about Mia when I give it to you. But we appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio. You know, we appreciate you, like I say, taking that time and being with us.
Well, it's been fun.
Hey, we always have fun. Guys, you're on Event Radio. We're at the Buick GS event. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event, and we're riding around, and all of a sudden we come up on a Grand National that's got autographs on the hood, and we meet a nice lady that is sort of going to tell us what's going on. What is your name, ma'am?
My name is Mary Williams.
My name's Williams. You reckon we're related some way?
We
might be. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Where are you from, Mary?
New Orleans, Louisiana.
Oh, that's cool, too. I like that. I'm into Cajun food. I love it. Tell us a little bit about this Grand National. There is a lot of story with this, and we find this just to be really cool.
Clay Williams is my son. He's been a Grand National enthusiast for years.
Okay.
2 years ago, he brought his car to the show and left the show, went to North Carolina to get some work done. His car was burned to a crisp in the shop.
And he had no insurance, too.
He had no insurance to cover that, and the shop didn't cover it. So the Grand National community came together and started a fundraiser. They donated their time, their money, their love. They rebuilt this car. Her name is Nasty Wendy.
Nasty Wendy. Well, that works for me.
Clay was a broken man when he returned without his car 2 years ago, and today he is so excited and so appreciative.
How cool is that?
Listen, it reinforces what we have preached forever, that the car guys are the best people on the planet.
They certainly are, and they have my love and devotion forever.
Well, and it's a thing that, you know, they laugh, they joke, they play together, but they hurt together, too.
They do, and everybody hurt for him and his sweet car.
Mom's doing pretty good with this,
Mom
you know.
Is so emotional and so touched right now that it is just so incredible.
Has everybody just signed the hood? Is that it, or
everybody who donated, who's here today, who donated, signed the hood, and he's going to get a new hood, but that hood will be posted in his garage.
Yeah, I would take him clear over that and just keep it forever.
Yes, he will do that.
Well, I tell you what, this is awesome.
Well, on behalf of Clay and his dad and his uncle, who's also here with us, we'd like to thank everybody who had anything to do with this, and we are so deeply touched and overwhelmed.
Well, car guys like car guys, Gail, and they take care of each other, and this is just rolling proof of the way it is, you know, and that's just so cool. I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime thing, you know. I just can't. I don't have words to say how happy we are and how much we appreciate all of this.
Well, let me ask you something. Can Mom pull a string or two and us get Clay on this radio show?
Oh, I bet we can.
You think? Well, hey, if it's the way my mom was, all she had to do was just say she wanted it to happen, and it happened.
It'll happen.
And I think you probably have the horsepower to get that done for us.
I'll do it.
All right, guys, we're going to take a real quick little sponsorship break, and we're going to talk to this young man about his car. And out of all the black Buicks in this whole show, this one, to me, is probably the most important one here. And we're going to be right back, guys. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS show, and we have Mr. Clay Williams, and we just talked to Mom a few minutes earlier. You got to be having a pretty wild day, my friend.
Yes, to say the least. Wild,
pretty emotional day.
Absolutely. It's hard to put into words. You know, the emotions and the feelings from all of the support that I've received, and it's one of those things that, you know, I'm never going to forget ever.
Well, you know, it's pretty cool, guys. And what they did, everybody, this project's already actually been going on, what, a year almost, Ronnie?
A little over a year, yes.
Did you know about it?
Yeah, when I actually had a conversation with Scott a while, you know, after the catastrophe happened, and he was in disbelief and all, and then he called me after I released the information. I didn't go out and spread the information.
Well, because you didn't go ask for this. They just did this.
No. And that's when he called me. After I did that, he called me and said, Clay, do you mind if we do a donation to try to get you another car? And I told him, I said, well, Scott, I didn't put the story out there to try to get, you know, this from anyone. I was just trying to let folks know to beware of doing business with this fellow because, you know, of what happened to me. And you know, he asked me, he said, well, I think we can do something about it if you give us your okay. And I thought about it a little while. I said, well, Scott, I just don't want anyone to think that this is what I was out after. And he said, well, no. And sure enough, he drummed up the support he needed to get me into another car.
And, you know, I bet you there was a whole lot of support. You may not even – there's probably a lot of people that were in on that you may not even know.
Absolutely. And he kept a record of everyone that donated, whether it was money, parts. There are guys that came from Florida to pick up the old car and drove it up to Tennessee so that Scott could get it here in Bowling Green last year for Sean to take back up to his shop to strip all of the parts that could be reused.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, folks that did things like that, you know, that maybe didn't give parts, maybe didn't give money, but, you know, that was a hell of a contribution.
Well, sure it is. Well, there again, it's everybody. The cool thing about car guys, and it's a shame the whole world nowadays doesn't work like car guys. Because there is no color, there is no racism, there is no feeling bad. You're a car guy. Everybody loves each other, you know, and the whole world needs to get a lesson from that.
And I can't agree with you more than that. And I was having conversations with family members. I said, listen, man, you know, I'm approached by people that, you know, back home when you're not in the car scenario, when you're not in a car environment. I said, I'm approached by people that you may look at and not trust. And I said, and I approach people that may look at me and not trust me outside of this environment. I said,
right.
But here it's like we're in a fraternity.
Yeah, well, and it's like when I talk to your mom, you know, all the car guys, they laugh, they play together, and they all hurt together.
Absolutely.
Especially when they lose one of their own. We had that happen to us just a couple of weeks ago. And you know, I mean, you turn into, I won't say brothers, but close. I mean, family for sure.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
your story just proves that. You know what I mean? And this little show goes all over the world, my friend. And it's really cool that here you got a guy signing up right here now, boy. I mean, your mom said you were going to take the hood off and you're going to like clear it or something and hang it on the garage wall.
It's going to go up on the wall in my garage, and you know, it's going to be there for as long as I'm there.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, we for sure want to take a picture of it because this little show, you don't know this, but this little show goes all over the world. When it airs, it will run 24 hours a day for 7 days. It'll repeat every hour. And then it goes on an archive page with pictures that you can call it up on demand anytime you want. So if Aunt Lily comes over for Christmas dinner, you say, y'all hear that interview I did with those idiots? You can go on there and replay this show. But we want to take a picture of the hood, and it will flip behind the show on the archive side so people can actually see what we're talking about.
Well, I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank all those who couldn't be here, and everybody who contributed that I may not have known. I'd like to just thank everybody. So I hope your show reaches their ears. So
well, it goes there, buddy. Whether that they'll take the initiative to listen to it, I don't know. But we hope they do. Yeah. And it has been our honor and our pleasure to have you on our show.
Well, thank you so very much. Thank you very much.
And of course, Mom straightened us out to start with. So we had to behave. I know what that's like. Boy, you don't mess with Mom now.
No,
period.
No,
you better when Mom says do it, you better do it. Now that's the way it is. But thank you so much, and our hats off to you, my friend. This shows just how much people care about you, and that's pretty cool when you live your life good enough that people do care that much. I think that's neat.
Well, thank all of you guys. Thank you guys. Yeah, it I've been touched, no doubt about that.
Guys, this is the way the world ought to operate, and you heard about it right here on Event Radio. We're at the Buick GS event, and we're having just too much fun. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back from the Buick GS event. We're coming down through the middle of the pit area, and we run up on a deal with the National Street Machine Club. What is your name, sir?
Ed Balling.
Ed, where are you from?
Columbus, Ohio area.
Well, that's not very far.
Yeah, easy trip.
How do y'all know when Columbus ends and Dayton starts?
It don't anymore.
Does it all run together?
Yeah, it does.
Boy, I tell you what. Tell me a little about the National Street Machine Club, because you got decals both on the trailer and the truck.
Well, it's a club of street machines, and it don't have to be muscle cars. It can be old hot rods and stuff like that. And they have put on different events across the country here and there. The problem with me is that I had joined them in the National Muscle Car Club, and haven't been able to enjoy any of the events because of sicknesses.
Yeah, you got your back worked on. We have, and we can appreciate that, because that's one of the bad things about getting old. Stuff starts to tear up,
Oh, geez. Well, you pay for being a yahoo back in the day.
Yeah, probably if you and I both had known we were going to live this long, we'd have took a little better care of ourselves.
Oh, yes. You better believe that.
Now, you got a Buick convertible. And I think that's cool. I mean, that's neat. And it's a hot rod, too, right?
And a 4-speed.
No kidding. That's got to be pretty rare.
Yeah, I've been racing 4-speeds for years, and I just refuse to change, even though I probably should. Probably be easier on my back. But no, I'm sticking with my 4-speed. If I have to go to automatic, I'm retired.
There you go. Well, I don't blame you. Some guys, that is a real art, too. A lot of these guys that are supposedly the goody-goody drag race guys, you put them in a stick car, and they turn into nothing, That's an art. That's an art.
I seem to think it is. I love it. It's you get a little bit more feel of the car when it's you're doing it yourself.
And if you miss a gear, you got nobody to blame but yourself, right?
Oh, I've been there.
I think we've all been there, buddy.
Yeah.
I think we've been there. So how long you've been drag racing for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, back in the '60s.
Boy, it was fun then, huh?
Oh, geez, yeah. Boy, I'd love to go back to them days again. So, I used to make my living street racing.
Well, I did a little. I didn't do a whole lot of street racing, but I did a little bit. I used to go to my grandmother's house, and my dad just thought I was his fair-haired child for spending so much time with my grandmother. And I'd throw my suitcase in, buddy, and I'd street drag race all weekend long, and I was making more money doing that than I was working for him,
I made my car payment and rent that way.
There you go. There you go. So you always been in the Columbus area up in there? Or?
Yeah, I was born in Dayton, and Mom and them moved to Columbus area and lived around there ever since. Back in my Yahoo days, I used to travel the country, street racing and what have you. But now Columbus area is my home.
Have you always used a Buick?
Yeah, I did have a stint with Ford and Chevy there for a minute, but I like being the only one, the underdog.
There you go. There you go.
And
well, it's a psychological deal. That's something we've talked about several times in this show. Buicks have been hot rods before people knew they were hot rods.
Yes, they were, and they were always the underdog. And I just love taking somebody's money with an underdog because they get upset, and then they get upset and talk stupid racing, and then you get to take some more of their money.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. And we're not supposed to ask, but I can't help it. What's the single biggest money pass you've ever done?
4,000
for one pass.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a Jags Challenge at National Trail Raceway there in Columbus.
So you picked your cash up and went to the house, huh?
Oh, buddy. Bought me some more parts.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, my friend, this has been fun. We've met some of the nicest people at the Buick event, and it's we look forward to coming out here every year and meeting you guys and seeing them, and get to meet people like you, that's got a lot of history in the sport and just flat having fun, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes I think about it'd been nice to go pro, but I don't know. It takes away from the feeling.
Well, it turns into a job then.
Exactly.
And right now it's fun, and that's where everybody should stay there. Let me ask you something, because you're an old school guy like me.
Mm.
Do you like bracket racing?
Yes. Yeah, I like bracket racing.
Do you?
Yep.
That's unusual, because most of the guys that run wide open from one end to the other don't.
If I had the money to get up my card a little bit more, to run the heads-up race off a Pro Tree, because I actually do better with a Pro Tree than I do the bracket tree, and that's
most good racers do. Yeah. That's why they put the buttons in them, and the deals where they leave off the top bulb is they're actually running an upside down Pro Tree, because they're leaving off the top bulb, and then the delay box takes over and drives it for them,
Well, see, that's one of the other reasons I don't do it, because I don't think electronics should be all involved, because it's supposed to be man and machine, not all machine.
Yeah, well, I sort of agree with you, my friend. I sort of agree with you. And I've got some buddies that make a big dollar bracket racing. I mean, they make big money. But, I don't know. I sort of linger for the old deals. I guess I had so much fun that I wish it could be back,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
One thing that you may not be aware of, that our listeners, some of them know and some of them don't. Back in my day, which has been that was when they had to inscribe trophies with a chisel and stuff on.
Yeah.
But Beach Bend Raceway was open 24/7. So if you had a street race in this city before lawyers, before all the crazy stuff that went on, you could bring them out here and actually safe street race at the drag strip in the middle of the night if you needed to. They didn't care.
There is some places around America right now that are doing that same thing. I ran into it a few months ago on the internet, and it was like, well, ain't this great? I mean, it's they don't use no Christmas tree or nothing like that. They do the hand flag or flashlight,
sure,
whatever, and they bet and everything on the race.
Don't you think that it would be really cool if a lot more of that went on? You watch these TV shows that are on TV now of the street racing that goes on. It would be a lot cooler and a lot safer for everybody if they would do that. Just figure out some way to run the lawyers off and get a release on the drag strip and leave it open, you know?
Yeah, well, that's up to the politicians of those areas, and some of them are pretty cool.
Well, some of them got some sense. We got a lot that don't, but some of them evidently do, because for young people, you can go have some fun, and you're not going to hurt anybody like somebody pulling out in front of you and you're sitting there running 100 and you can't shut it off and doing stupid stuff like that. And I think it's a shame that it's not done, and I think it's cool that some of them are doing it.
Yeah, it is.
Listen, my friend, we're going to let you go. Thank you so much for being on Event Radio. It has been our pleasure and our honor to have you. We like the guys that started back when drag racing was really cool and ain't never quit, and especially you grabbing the gears all along the way. I think that's neat.
Yeah, I appreciate you, and God bless everybody.
We're cool, guys. We're at the Buick GS event. You are on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. All right, guys, we are back from the GS event, and we come up on a little outfit here that everybody has told us is the bad guy on the block when it comes to Buick performance. What is your name, sir?
Mike Tomaszewski.
Mike, TA Performance. All these guys, either you do one heck of a job or you got them full of BS. I don't know which one it is, because they all talk good about you, my friend. That's
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, evidently you've earned it. We don't know anything. We're just sort of hanging out.
Right. Well, we try awful hard.
Where are you guys from?
We're from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, well, you're in nice weather all the time. Give me a break, No wonder you do good.
We have the nice weather.
Yeah, buddy, I'm telling you.
But we got a road trip to get here.
Yeah, but that's all right. That's fun, You get to go to Barrett Jackson without a bunch of miles,
We can walk there from the shop.
Can you really?
Yeah, we can.
How long you guys been in the Buick business?
We've been in it for about 32 or 33 years now.
So you pretty much got it figured out by now, huh?
I don't think you ever get anything figured out. But
well, you get a good
base.
We're
doing pretty good.
You get a good baseline. I know. When we pulled up here, you had one of them running. That thing's hitting harder than Joe Louis. I mean, it's man, it sounds good. And all these guys really. I wasn't just jerking your chain. All these guys are very, very complimentary of your company. Everybody we've talked to, and sort of that's why we're here. We wanted to come see for ourselves because Event Radio gets to talk to everybody.
Well, any business owner out there knows it's tough, and you've got to constantly try to reinvent yourself. And out of all the Buick vendors over the years now, we're pretty much the last guys standing. When the economy dropped like that, it was really tough. We had to really figure out how to do business the way we did 10, 15 years prior. And so right now, we're the last guys building parts for these things. And it's I've had a nice warm welcoming out here because I haven't been back to Bowling Green for almost 18 years.
Yeah, well, we did this show last year because we do we do every event that comes into here for sure, but we do Corvettes, we do motorcycles, we do stock cars, we do all kinds of stuff. Sure. And the Buick guys, we've had a lot of fun because they're so loyal. It's almost like a cult,
It is,
but a good thing,
It is. A lot of the guys that are here, we've been doing business with them for probably the last 25 years, and we've become friends.
Yeah.
And that's why when you walk around here, they all seem to know each other, and we'd like to have some new blood. I'd like to go after some Pontiacs and stuff at the Ames meet, but
there you go. Well, do you pretty much do like cylinder heads, intakes, that kind of stuff, or do you do everything? Or I'm sort of a novice here and a newbie, so you got to help me.
Our company now that's how we started. It was intake manifolds, valve covers, camshafts. But at this point, as the economy went on and the big players fell off, the parts went away. And so we found ourselves having to reproduce almost everything. Now we do the blocks, the heads, the manifolds, rocker arm shafts, harmonic balancers. We build the whole engine, actually. Everything's reproduced.
Yeah. Well, you got to be pretty much on your game to be able to do that, my friend.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, well, that's all right. It's a lot of fun, too.
Well, it has been a lot of fun.
You could be, I mean, think about it. You could be the best ditch digger in the world, instead of being the best Buick guys in the world. So it worked out,
It did. It did, and I'm very pleased to be here and be involved with this, and it's really enjoyable to see all these folks going out here having fun with the stuff that I've, my passion, brought it to the table, and they're using it and having a good time with it.
Well, we talked to a couple of guys earlier, and every Buick sort of got put on the map with the Grand Nationals. They gave them all the credit, but the Buick cars were fast way before that.
Oh yeah,
but they were probably the best kept secret.
Oh, they were. And if you talk to some of the old timers when the 70 GSs came out, the GSXs, they'll tell you stories about their buddy who had one of these cars and beat up all the big block Chevelles in town and the Camaros.
Yeah, all the GTOs and all that stuff. Yeah,
right.
And they're probably telling the gospel. I mean, because I'm fortunate to have lived back then, so I had a couple of buddies that had a couple of those cars, and they were hot rods. Now there's no doubt about it.
They were then, and they're even more so now. And we're pretty lucky. We have the original GM engineer that ran the powertrain department of Buick. His name's Denny Manor, and he comes to these events every year, and he hangs out over here with us, and he sheds a lot of information and supports everybody, and it's really great to have some of those old timers out here to kind of show the support.
Now, am I correct in my assumption that you got a female driver? Is that correct?
No. Well, yeah. Danny there, she's driving one of the other TA sponsored cars. It's a Skyhawk, and she does drive, and the car will run not low nines. So I guess, yes, we do have a female driver here.
Well, hey, you know how to play the deal, buddy. I mean, the pretty girls are a natural media magnet,
Oh, yeah.
And we looked at that as like icing on the cake because we actually came about the car, but now I'm glad we came,
Yeah, Danny's a great girl, and she's really helped the sport out, too, and she supports her boyfriend really well, with the other car, because he's got like a Pro Mod car that runs 680s.
Uh-huh.
And she's out there. She rolls them in. She
cool.
spots them. She's the one who's out there working with them, and it's really neat to see that gal work so hard.
Well, it's cool that they both like the sport of drag racing.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's guys and gals that stay together, and it's been that way for years,
And it has. Those two have been together for a long time.
Yeah. We like to play and kid and have a little fun, but it's it's part of it. But I spent a long time talking to Jungle Pam, Jim.
Oh, yes.
Jungle Jim's gal, and she said it was just amazing that the drag racing is what really kept them together because they actually hated each other, I think. but we spent a lot of time and it was fun. But we want to thank you for taking a couple of minutes. Maybe we've introduced TA Performance to some folks that I can't imagine anybody not knowing you guys. With the kind of reputation that we have found you had.
Right.
But that's a cool thing for you to take a couple of minutes and be on Event Radio. We appreciate you doing that.
Well,
more,
and I appreciate you guys stopping by.
Well, it's a deal that we're fortunate we get to go to a lot of different events, and when we get to meet a lot of nice folks, and it's really cool when you find the top of the game, if you will, and that's where you are.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that. That's some of the stuff that makes you go back to work the next day.
Yeah. Other than the bills and stuff, right?
You got that right.
Listen, my friend, thank you so
All right.
much for taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio.
All right.
We're having a lot of fun, guys, at the Buick GS event. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we are back, and just because we're old doesn't mean we're stupid. We're still at the TA Performance booth, if you will, and we have the best-looking driver, I guess, in the place here to join us. He had introduced you to Miss Danny, and we commandeered her to be on Event Radio. How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing good.
You having fun?
Oh, tons of fun.
Boy, you're a drag racer through and through, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your boyfriend has a Pro Mod car, is that correct?
Yeah, he's got a Pro Mod blown injected Regal that actually holds the title for the fastest V8 Buick right now. So, and I would be his pit crew and crew chief and all that. So,
well, that's cool.
It keeps me very busy. So.
Well, that's all right. Let me ask you. I noticed you got the fire suit on. Have you ever driven a Pro Mod one?
Not a Pro Mod, no. I actually pretty much just started racing this year. He's got basically his retired race car before he got the Pro Mod. I'm driving that, so it has a bunch of hand-me-down parts in it from the big Pro Mod.
Yeah, but I figured you'd have to, being as much into drag racing as you are, you'd have to try it at least once.
Oh yeah. It is awesome. I can't believe it's been this long since before I've tried it. So.
The car that you're driving now, how quick is it, gal?
Well, with him in it, he can get it to go like in the 920s. With me in it, I'm doing like 950s.
Well, that's okay.
I've gotten it to go 930s. I think it was a mistake. I was racing downhill. The air was probably really thin that day and all that, so that helped.
Well, that's okay. Everything's all right. The thing about a good race car driver is the one that makes a lot of laps, not just one good one every now and then.
Oh, yeah.
And being consistent is much more important than being fast.
Oh, if there's anything, I am consistent on being inconsistent.
Consistent on being inconsistent. That's like a buddy of mine's got a machine shop and the name of it is Precision Guesswork.
Nice.
Really, pretty cool. What did you start drag racing in?
I had started, probably the first time I was in the seat was maybe like 3-4 years ago. I made a couple passes in this car. It wasn't nearly this fast. It was running in the 10s, which was still extremely fast for my first time in the seat. And then there was kind of a hiatus where I didn't race at all because we were really involved with the Pro Mod. And just this year, I started racing again. So I might have like maybe 20 runs under my belt.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing great. Let me ask you something. What is the attraction right now, there are so many gals that are getting into the sport of drag racing, and I don't mean bracket cars. You're looking at Forces girls. You're looking at little Mia Tedesco drives an A-Fuel car. You're looking at a lot of girls right now that are getting into some real hot rods. And you're talking Pro Mod. You're talking even the 950 car is a quick car.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
What's the deal there? Is it just a thing I've always known I could do it, but now I'm going to show you, or what?
I've never considered myself to be like. I'm always one of the guys. So, like, I ride the dirt bikes, I wrench on the cars, I do everything, and it was just another thing that was like, I'm going to do it, and so it's adrenaline rush, I guess, is what it is. I'm kind of an adrenaline junkie, just like these
cool.
guys. So.
Yeah, but you did the fun stuff,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's neat. That's really cool. Any aspirations maybe to move on up into the pro ranks, that maybe?
Oh, no.
Let me tell you what. See, it's a situation that Shirley Muldowney and a couple of the girls opened the door for you gals.
Oh, yes.
And they showed the world that the women can do anything that a guy can do a lot faster. A lot of them do. And a lot of people don't know that a woman's reflexes are twice as quick as a man's. That is for sure study.
I have heard that before,
That is a fact, my dear. That is a fact. So you guys have it going on from the before you ever get in the car. Then you wind up being a good-looking gal, and the media follows you. Then the sponsors follow you, and it's a really hard thing for a guy to compete with now. I mean, it just is.
Oh, it sounds like you're crying now.
No, I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I did this a long time ago, so I don't have to cry. But no, really, it's a situation that the sponsors love the female drivers,
especially the pretty ones.
They do.
Yeah, the pretty ones that have that can look good on a camera and stuff.
They do.
I mean, you look at Danica Patrick. Okay, Danica Patrick is a beautiful little girl, and they don't really care where she finishes. She puts more rears in the seats at a NASCAR race than anybody short of Junior.
That is true.
That is true. So that sort of polishes my theory, I guess you would say.
Well, you said you was just one of the guys. I definitely grew up running with the wrong kind of guys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, T. When we were growing up, boy, there wasn't any girls like her that did this stuff. But I think that's really cool. So you rode dirt bikes?
Yeah, I have a dirt bike and all that I ride with the guys. I just putz by myself. Most of the time I'll chase one of the there out there and see how fast I can go.
Being from Arizona, gal, you got the perfect place to ride dirt bikes.
I'm not from Arizona.
Oh, you're not?
I'm from Chicagoland. Yeah.
Ooh, well, you got to be able to ride one to get away then.
Right. Right, yeah. We have a little bit more different terrain out there, no deserts and stuff like that. We got hills and
a runaway Buick up there will get you. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Listen, lady, we've had fun with you, and we were playing, and really, we are in awe that you do what you do. We think it's just cooler than pockets on a shirt that you are doing that, and that you are at this event and driving the Buick as quick as it goes, and that's just cool. I mean, there's no doubt about it. That's cool.
Oh, no, I love it. So I hope to stay in the seat for a long time. So.
Well, I don't know who the sponsor is, guys, but whoever it is, you're not giving this little gal enough money. You need to step her up a little, right. Because she's going to be a media magnet forever, and you want a place to spend your money. You might ought to call the TA Performance guys and say, hey, who was that girl that was on this radio show? Because this little show goes all over the world, gal. You may not know that, but you've just been talking to about 3 million people. So,
pressure.
It's pretty cool.
Pressure.
Well, we did that when it was over, not when it was going on. But we want to thank you for taking a couple of minutes to be on Event Radio. We really appreciate it. And you're always welcome, and thanks for just being cool, okay?
Right. I appreciate you having me.
All right. We're going to get out of here, guys. We're at the Buick GS event. We're having just a ton of fun, and we will be right back. You're on Event Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, T-Bone, what do you think, man, about the Buicks?
Hey, man, I like them, man. Who wouldn't like them?
Can you believe the little gal, guys? We got to tell you, the young lady that we talked to is actually the girlfriend of the fellow that we talked to last year at this event that had the blown Buick, the fastest Buick in the place. And he was our buddy, the trucker, and just a great, great guy. We didn't know. He was hiding from us, I think.
Imagine that.
No, he really wasn't. He just marked in a different spot. But this is a cool event. This is
cool
fun.
People. I mean, everybody is passionate about their rides. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
And the people that helped the guy put his car back together.
Oh,
How
is
neat
that
was
now? Is that cool or what? You know, that's it. And the librarian lady, was she not neat?
I might have read more in school if I had a teacher like her.
Yeah, that made it fun like that. I mean, she had the personality, great, nice lady, just really cool. And our very first guest, the guy with the custom Buick, boy, how cool is that?
I've seen a lot of color combinations put together, but the metal look he had with that black, gold, and silver was awesome.
It was really, guys, we have been really, really fortunate. This our event season is sort of winding down. It's not quite endless summer yet, but you can feel a little chill in the air. You can feel things coming.
Well, you can actually look at the trees and they look like a bowl of Fruit Loops.
Yeah, you look like Gatlinburg on the weekend or whatever. But we've had a pretty cool year on Event Radio. We've done a lot of cool events. We hope you've enjoyed our efforts a little bit in trying to introduce you to some of the players, some of the people that we thought were the coolest ones to get to talk to, and we hope you've liked that. We're not done by any means. We got a lot more to do.
We're just done with maybe not the chatter in our voice.
Yeah. We'll get a little chilly from this point forward, but we may go from the T-shirts to the sweatshirts, but we're going to have some fun. But
unless we get to the Daytona 500, then
we might. We won't put the shorts up yet. They're not going to be far away.
Little E, we're coming after you.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, this is always so much fun, and the time is near for us that we don't like because we're almost done with the show. We like really doing them. We like interviewing the people. We like meeting the people.
Made numerous friends.
Yeah, we've made friends on this thing from all over the country, and man, it's cool. It's fun, but Terry and I are sort of used to that because running the racing like we did at an earlier age, that's what we did then. The racing was fun, but we met so many cool people. I know, Terry, you got friends now that you still talk to.
Oh, yeah, big time. I mean, a lot of them are either passed away or in the penitentiary. But the ones that still I talk to are, dear friends.
Well, and the racing guys is a community and a group that car guys in general, we proved that on this show.
Well, you may not really like them, but you respect them.
Oh yeah, and well, you're utter enemies till the day the thing's over. Till the green flag drops. Yeah, you really don't like each other, or until when the light turns green or whatever. But after it's over, you're back to being buddies and sort of a one for all. We have to do just a little tribute. We both lost a dear buddy just a couple of weeks ago. Our buddy, Mr. Rusty Perkins, no better Ford racer in the world than Rusty.
He can shift some main gears, too.
I'm telling you what, and just a great guy. And he was bad news on a bicycle growing up, too, wasn't he?
He was wheeling back before it was. If you didn't have a motorcycle, Stingray bikes come out, and then everybody was wheeling. Yeah. Rusty Perkins was wheeling a bike a long time before the Stingrays come out.
Right, a long time before it ever got to be cool. He could already do it. But, we lost our buddy Rusty, and it affected both of us pretty hard. But
they say he's in a better place, but I believe he's in a better place to be sitting here with us.
Well, we're having a lot of fun, aren't we? Guys, we appreciate more than you know you listening to Event Radio. We never, never, never end a show without thanking our sponsors, the great guys at Beach Bend Raceway, Beach Bend Park, and Splash Lagoon.
Quick Fuel Technology, Final Finish.
The Gearhead Gazette magazine, guys. Everything that's cool you'll find in the Gearhead Gazette. Just go to gearheadgazette.com. Even through the winter, guys, they still keep you updated every week or two with what's happening. So go to gearheadgazette.com and check them out. And, of course, the great guys at Holly Performance. As we say, if you can't find something out of all the brands that Holly sells, man, you ain't got a hot rod.
Not at all.
Not at all. Last but not least, guys, we sure hope you enjoy what you're hearing. If you do, please tell a friend. But if you don't, keep it to yourself. We'll be right. We're going to have some fun on down the road real quick. But that's about it for today. I think it's time to go home, T-Bone.
Let's say bye to Rusty one more time, and let's go home.
We're out of here, guys. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you again.
You've been listening to Event Radio, covering local drag racing, stock car racing, motorcycles, go-karts. If it's got wheels and you can race it, you heard about it here. Event Radio is motorsports radio on steroids. Join us next time with your hosts, Spivey Williams and Terrible T Guy.